On this episode of the Bed Bath & Beyond podcast, we recap Week 14. Andy comes close to winning another 10-team parlay. Trace McSorley faked his injury. And the stunning conclusion to the third shotgun bet. You're not going to want to miss it.
3, 2, 1, go. I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann. And I hate sports betting.
No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight.
Welcome to Bed Bath & Beyond.
You sound a little bit happier to be here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Brought to you by B3T Sports. You don't get to fucking say that.
.com. And also
fucking who do you think you are?
CeraVe. CeraVe, it moisturizes your skin and you put it on your skin and it makes you live forever. CeraVe.
I don't think that's true.
CeraVe, bless your skin.
Why do our sponsors never email me?
I'm doing
that's
the legwork. That's
kind of weird.
I'm doing the legwork.
Oh my fucking god! What'd you think of the games yesterday?
I thought they were good. Yeah, let's. Fuck all this foreplay. Let's just get straight into the business, right? Just straight into football.
Dude,
that's what we're all about.
I almost hit the 10-team parlay this week.
Yes, you did.
I'm 8 for 9 right now.
Now, who did you have tonight?
I have the Browns tonight.
Yeah,
but only because then I could hedge and I'd feel comfortable.
That is good. So what we'll do is when we're going through all these games, you'll tell us who you had in your little 10-game parlay. Since we didn't talk about it last episode. I know you wrote an article.
No, we did not. I did write an article on b3tsports.com.
But for any of the listeners who haven't read that article, every game we go through that was a part of that parlay, you just say, it was a part of the 10-game parlay, and this is what I got. Because I do know the team that ruined it, but I won't say it. I'll let you.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But
I'll
talk about it.
I'll let you steer that ship. Okay.
All right, you want to start by talking about the Patriots and the Rams?
Fuck you. We do not talk Thursday night football. It's Monday morning. It's too early for jokes.
All right, fine. Vikings, Bucks?
Yes, Vikings, Bucks. We actually had a bet on this game.
We did. We didn't remember, which was very funny, but
it was. We were messaging each other late last night, and I was like, did we bet on a game today? Because I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I was like, we did, but God, I don't remember what.
So what I had to do is I had to go back to our last episode and listen to the whole thing and
and wait for it to drop.
And and I was like fast forwarding and stuff because I can't listen to us because if you listen
Not
to
again.
us, if you listen to us, God bless your soul. Are there people that listen to us? God bless their soul.
Because whenever we do that, that's our third time. Because first of all, we lived it, and then second of all, obviously we listened to our podcast. Just because we want to make sure it turned out all right. And then anytime after that, if I have to listen to it for the third time, I'm just like,
no. What I'm saying, Andrew, what I'm saying is I don't listen to it at all. Not even the first time.
I guess you mix it, so I guess that's different.
No, Andrew, I don't even listen. Right now, I'm not even listening to you. I don't listen to any of our podcasts. That's fair. Ever.
Because I guess if you did, then you wouldn't have had to go back and re-listen to it to find out the bet.
I never listened to
that you lost.
So, Jesus, that was a real roundabout fucking way to say I lost the bet because I had the Vikings at +6. You took the Bucks at -6. I think what really I don't know why I made this bet. I'll be completely honest. I know I was drinking some wine at the time, allegedly some Cabernet.
No, it's confirmed.
So I have
know it's confirmed because you said that you had Subway. So I know you were drinking wine.
I have no idea what made me want to bet the Vikings.
You got mad at me because I said that the Bucks after a bye are important. You're like, the bye week doesn't matter, and then I got upset, and then we bet it.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So I guess bye weeks do matter. Bye weeks matter because the Bucks covered that 6 spread.
There were some questionable calls in this game. I'll say that the Vikings could have done better too, but Dan Bailey, They gotta leave that man behind. Holy shit.
Dan Bailey missed all the field goals. I did see that. I saw a couple questionable calls, like you said, like the Hail Mary at halftime.
Yeah, I don't
understand.
They never call that shit on the Hail Marys. Like, I mean, is it just because it's Tom Brady? I don't know.
They did sandwich Gronkowski in the end zone. So, but everyone was going for the ball. The thing is with Hail Marys is that since everyone has so much time to like get to where they're going, and then as soon as the quarterback releases the ball, everybody sees where it is, you know? So everyone's going for it. I thought it was a weird call, and I know Troy Aikman hated the call.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're doing the Hail Mary, specifically that play, and you like you mentioned, everyone's already in position. Everybody's making a play on the ball. And it didn't – I understand they sandwiched him, but they were looking for the ball.
Right.
Like it is what it is. And that's why Hail Mary calls very rarely get those pass interference calls, you know. Maybe they felt differently because it's halftime and not the end of the game. I understand. Like you can't end a game on a penalty like that, but –
Right. And then I think the other penalty that was pretty questionable that at least I remember was the Mike Evans in the end zone. He
slipped?
He slipped, and they got the PI call.
That man falls more than any wide receiver I've ever seen in the NFL.
He falls, and he also draws the most PI flags of any wide receiver.
That's just because he's gigantic, but he falls a fucking ton. Like
maybe that's because he's gigantic.
It bothers me. How about you stand up, you fucking giraffe?
He is. Yeah, he's very tall.
The quarterback play in this game was pretty all right. 24 completions for Kirk, 225 yards and a touchdown. So like no interceptions. Brady threw 2 touchdowns, close to 200 yards, no interceptions. The running game was great. Rojo had 80 yards and a touchdown. Cook had 102 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I thought it was an overall good game, and just things did not fall for the Vikings.
Right. That's pretty much all I got on that one.
Yeah. Bucks win 26-14.
I definitely lost in our Office League fantasy this week.
That's sad.
First, no, since our playoffs started last week for whatever reason, it's not a first round exit, but still, it's sad to see.
I should also say that game was part of my 10-team parlay. I had the Bucks money line. Bucks win.
Very nice. We're 1 for 1.
Yep. Cardinals Giants. Man, you were hot on the Giants.
I was hot on the Giants, man, and they did not. They had Daniel Jones back. They did classic Giants things. Giant things that in the beginning of the season was like their trademark, and then they've gotten better.
Right.
They fumbled the ball. They didn't want the ball. They had so many fucking turnovers in this game. I say that I didn't even watch the game. I just saw highlights.
Well, Daniel Jones just could not move like they needed him to move. He was like his thigh was definitely still a problem, but it was just good enough that he could at least stand out there in the pocket and throw. I think that was their problem. If they had prime Daniel Jones, I don't think the game would have been exactly like this.
Right.
I think the Cardinals still would have won, but
the Cardinals were 2.5 favorites, 2.5 point favorites. So they easily covered that spread. And honestly, this was a really good win for them. They needed to win this. They needed
they did.
a win because at 6-6, if they went to 6-7, kiss it goodbye. Kiss any sort of playoff chance goodbye.
And this was an important game for the NFC East because the Washington football team ended up winning. So now they're leading the division.
Call that. I called that. We'll get to that game, but I told
you they were going to be better than people thought, but so vague.
It is so vague.
Cardinals QB Kyler Murray had 24 completions and 244 yards. He also rushed for about 50. That's a pretty good day for Kyler. He usually has more touchdowns, but he did throw for 1. Daniel Jones, 11 completions for 127 yards. Nothing you're writing home about. Kenyon Drake rushed for 80. Wayne Gallman for 57. DeAndre Hopkins, welcome back. 9 catches, 136 yards.
Yeah, this was a good game for him.
I think they had him run. We talked about this last week where he was only running routes on the left side of the field due to his ankle injury, or at least that was speculated. And I think they had him run some stuff just all over the field this time. So, Cardinals win it 26-7.
Bye-bye, Giants. Actually, you're still in it. You're still in it because of the NFC
you're still
East.
in the hunt technically.
But You're no longer in first place. Or tied for first place. Chiefs.
Man. So early.
Dude, you need to drink coffee. I don't understand why you don't drink coffee.
Dude, I rolled out of bed and I sat at my computer and then I was like, okay, I gotta take the dog out, and then I did that and I came back and you were here. You were ready to go.
You don't even have a coffee maker. You just need.
No, I don't. I did get a new microwave stand though, so it's got my microwave on it, and then it's got my blender, and it's got my pressure cooker.
Take it easy over there.
Now I have counter space for me to cook appropriately.
Take it easy over there, Tony Stark.
Yeah, thank you. I built it with my own hands.
Oh, man, we got the Chiefs and the Dolphins. This was a good game. The Dolphins kept it close let me rephrase that. They kept it close at the end because for a while there, the Chiefs did run away with it. But the Dolphins, they clawed their way back, and they had a legitimate chance at least coming back in the fourth quarter without Myles Gaskin, with Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua had a pretty good game.
He did. He did have a good game.
You were drinking coffee there, weren't you?
Yeah, because I drink coffee, Andrew.
No, you just stopped talking to me, and I was like, okay, maybe he didn't have a great game.
Yeah, listen,
sorry.
if I stop talking to you for whatever reason, 99% of the time it's either I'm drinking wine or I'm drinking coffee.
Okay.
Or I'm drinking Miller Lite. Miller Lite, it's the best light beer out there, 96 calories. Miller Lite,
not true.
Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, yep. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes completed 24 passes for 393 yards. That's a baller move.
Baller.
2 touchdowns. He threw 3 picks, though.
Yeah, he did. I was just about to say.
He's human.
He is human.
I mean, he still only has 5 picks on the entire fucking year, but...
I love the Dolphins' defense. I don't know what it is. They're really good. But,
actually...
they still let up 33 points, but they had a lot of turnovers.
It's kind of interesting because the team that gave the Chiefs fits last week were the Broncos, and they run a lot of 2-over like safety stuff in the defensive side, and the Dolphins run a lot of the opposite kind of. Like no one really runs what the Broncos run in general. So I mean, let alone no one's going to run it against the Chiefs. And I thought that might be an issue for the Dolphins. Turns out, I mean, they still scored a ton, but yeah, you're right. 3 picks on Patrick fucking Mahomes. Good for you guys.
Now, the spread for this game. Let's talk about the spread real quick. Because depending on where you got your spread really mattered. The Dolphins cover because the spread was 7 and it was a 6-point game. So, I mean, I think it bottomed out at 7 points. I don't think it got into the 6s.
No, I don't think so either.
I did see it trending towards the Dolphins at one point, the spread. But, yeah, close game.
I did take the Dolphins to cover a 7-point spread at a point. Again, one of my other parlays. I took an all-spread parlay yesterday. That didn't pan out. This was part of my 10-team parlay, though, and I had the Chiefs' money line and obviously secured.
Let's talk about that all-spread parlay for a second. Because you got you got the Dolphins, right? I mean, because they covered 7.
I'm sorry. No, I had the Chiefs at -7. My apologies. I thought the Chiefs were 100% going to smash these guys, and it didn't work out. I'll tell you about that. So I had the Bucks at -7. They covered. The Titans at -7.5. They covered. The Chiefs at -7, which did not cover. I also had the Packers at -8.5. That game was for some reason fucking close.
Yes.
And then I took the Jets at +15. I thought there was no way they were that bad.
They are.
15 points. They are. They are atrocious.
Okay, so let's move on to the Titans-Jags. You kind of spoiled it. But the Titans two things from this game. One, Derrick Henry just doing Derrick Henry things. He's a fucking beast. Always,
monster.
I don't understand. He always will be, I guess. And also Gardner Minshew's back.
He's back, baby.
The stash is back.
Jorts. I mean, he threw a touchdown. He only had 18 completions. He had 178 yards. I mean, it was...
Well, he didn't start.
No, he didn't start. And he also probably didn't take starting reps all week. The part that is a little concerning, James Robinson only had 67 yards. That's very down for him on the year. But he still averaged over 5 yards a carry. So, I mean, he's still looking good.
Titans, I mean, I don't know I don't know, because the Titans are a 9-4 team. The Jags are a terrible 1-12 team. So we all expected the Titans to just kick the shit out of the Jags, and that's what they did.
This is also part of the 10-team parlay.
Who'd you have?
Titans.
Did you take money line?
I did take money line. You fucking kidding me? This is actually one of the lowest odd 10-team parlays I've ever taken. There were so many favorites in this one.
Yeah. What was even the payout? It was like
$980.
Yeah.
And I bet 10 on this one. Right.
The spread was 7.5. Titans easily cover.
Yeah, Titans 31, Jaguars 10.
Let's get into the Cowboys-Bengals. Cowboys getting a well-deserved victory. A well-deserved victory after getting their shit kicked in by the Ravens, and everybody in Cowboy Nation getting all pissed off. They are some of the most loyal fans. I don't know why I follow so many Cowboys fans on Twitter, but I do. And whenever they play, it's my entire timeline.
Who are the most loyal fans in the NFL?
The Browns, 100%.
The Browns, the Bills I also think are up there. Bills Mafia.
Yeah, yeah. But the two endure the misery of Cleveland, to endure the misery of that franchise, how long they've been such a shitty team. It's got to go to the Browns. It really does. I don't know a franchise more cursed than the Browns. It's terrible.
God, the
Awful.
Bengals are so bad.
Yeah, I'm talking about awful. The Bengals are terrible.
Just listen to these drives by the Bengals. I'm going to read you all their offensive drives, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fumble, touchdown, punt, turn on downs, end of fourth quarter.
Love it. Fumble. It's like a slot machine. You like pull the lever and then you get like the three fumbles.
I mean, Brandon Allen completed 27 passes. He had 217 yards and a touchdown. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know either.
AJ Green went off for AJ Green.
AJ Green had the one touchdown that the Bengals had.
And there's T. Higgins with 5 catches. I told you, every week that motherfucker's good for 5 catches. 100%. Lock it in.
Yeah, he's QB proof apparently. Cowboys, Zeke, I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal with Zeke is.
They only gave him 12 carries. I don't understand. They paid him so. I get that they're not in a position really to like contest for a Super Bowl or anything. They're probably seeing what they have in Tony Pollard, but they can't. They're gonna have to either trade Zeke or get rid of Tony Pollard, because eventually Tony Pollard has shown that he is a good asset.
Yes,
he's a good running back. So like they have to. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they paid Zeke a ton of money, and they're not gonna be able to renegotiate that.
Nope. But I mean, I could see them saying "fuck you," bye, letting Zeke go.
Or to Zeke, you mean like just cutting him?
I don't know. Like I could see them trading him. I can see Jerry Jones just. I'm not saying this season, but if I don't know Zeke, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think the other way. But Zeke has had a downcline of a year. A big downcline. And I don't know if it's the offensive line. I don't know if it's because Dak's
the offensive
not there.
line has taken a huge hit, and obviously you can stack the box way more effectively against Andy Dalton than you can Dak, right?
Right. So
I mean, I don't want to blame him 100%, but there are things that he can't control that he has had issues with. Like you can't fumble like Zeke has fumbled.
Zeke has been fumbling a lot too. That's been kind of a pattern this season. I know they paid him a giant contract. But Jerry Jones is the kind of man, the kind of owner / GM who, I mean, he has very, very few days left on this earth. And he wants, the one thing he wants before he leaves is a fucking championship that he orchestrated, that he was the leader behind. And if he'll do anything to get it. So if that means cutting Zeke, if that means trading him away and just eating a shit ton of losses in that contract that they gave him,
right.
so be it. Because he's got one thing on his mind, and it's winning a championship.
I think
he'd give away his entire fortune for that. There's no
The
doubt.
only way that they're going to be able to do that is if he gets rid of Zeke and then he uses that money that he can, whatever he can save from that and scrape back up is going to be to pay Dak. I think that's his own, because otherwise, I mean, you're going to have to hit like a Patrick Mahomes type in the draft.
Not happening.
Fucking,
not happening.
No, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have to.
I do know
hit
what
that.
you're saying. It's not happening.
Now, you could get Aaron Rodgers going, I don't want to be here anymore. This is stupid. And then Mike McCarthy is like, do you remember me, buddy? Come down here to Dallas. That would be interesting, but I doubt it.
We'll talk about the Packers, but for some reason, I'm getting the feeling that Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur are getting along like two best friends.
This game was in my 10-team parlay. I had the Cowboys money line, and they smashed it 30-7.
The Cowboys were blah 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 -3 point favorites.
Never mind. Okay,
They
I
covered.
figured they'd be favorites, but
Covered.
this next game hurts my body.
Yeah, this one was a fucking stomping. Texans Bears. Wow, just wow. I watched this game because obviously I live in Chicago and it's free, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing because you had David Montgomery just peeling off runs. You had Mitch Trubisky completing passes. The offense looked great. The Chicago Bears defense looked great. If the Bears played like this every week, they would be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, it's the Texans, but the Texans aren't a bad... I mean, they're better than their 4-9 record, I think.
Because I always forget the first 3 weeks of the season they played the fucking Chiefs, Ravens, and then was it Titans?
Yeah, they had a very tough schedule at the beginning of the season.
So it's like, even if they would have eked out one of those, I mean, so they'd be 5-8 right now. I mean, like that's still in the hunt at that point, but it's like
they looked good, man. They looked really good.
Here's the funny thing: the entire time I was watching, I didn't watch this game, but I was turning to it, and like checking in on it. And every time I did it, the only thing that went through my mind was that person you talked about before, where it's like, would you rather have Mitch Trubisky or Deshaun Watson? And they're like, Mitch Trubisky. It's like, what? And now I'm like, well, now they have ammo, right?
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, this was the game where I'm sure I had it on mute. I had the game on mute because I had several games going on at a time, so I wasn't listening to the commentary during this game. However, I guarantee you, the Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Mitch Trubisky, all taken in the same draft conversation was brought up at least 69 times. There's no doubt in my mind, and
Absolutely.
it's so annoying to hear. Like, we get it.
Allen Robinson is such a good wide receiver. It kind of sucks that he has Mitch Trubisky as his guy.
Yes, it does. But I mean, they looked good. Houston were favorites. Remember that they were like 2.5
2 point.
favorites.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So wow.
Bears win 36-7. This game was almost in my 10-team parlay, but it wasn't. But
I don't blame you.
Wasn't.
But honestly, we both picked the Texans last podcast, so
oh yeah, absolutely.
this would have killed your 10-team parlay instantly without the. We'll get to it without the game that crushed your heart.
But
Your 10-game parlays are they get close.
They do get close.
You
They're
would
hard.
be-
I mean, that's the whole point.
You would be a very rich man if you did 8-game parlays.
I doubt it. Something tells me that if I did 8-game parlays, I'd be hitting 7 out of 8 because
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with the Lord and His disdain for me.
Okay, Bears win it 36-7. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about this game?
Not at all. Broncos, Cats. I
Okay.
fucking hate this team.
Yeah, I talk about another offense that decided to go off yesterday. The Broncos. They looked.
God.
Drew Lock looked electric. He had like 4 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. Actually, I don't even know
No
how many
interceptions.
yards. No interceptions. He looked great. Hamler.
And Teddy Bridgewater did not look great.
Hamler, the rookie, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he looked good. 86 yards. I thought Jerry Jeudy had some really good catches, but he only had like the 2. You know, so I mean they were great, but they're not. I think next year he could take another step, assuming Drew Lock also fumbled twice.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
The fact that the Panthers couldn't win this game. I mean, we made it close. Mike Davis had 2 touchdowns. Teddy Bridgewater rushed for a touchdown as well.
Robbie Anderson had a good game.
Okay game. Yeah, 8 receptions, 84 yards. I don't know. We're definitely not at full strength. We don't have Christian McCaffrey. There's probably a good chance we shut down Christian McCaffrey for the year at this point. I mean, we can't win. We're 4-9. We can't win our division, even if we go undefeated the rest of the year, and we won't make a wild card spot.
Nope.
So, I mean, I'd say shut him down, honestly. We paid him a ton of money. Let's not have him die.
Shut it down. Just shut it down.
This was not part of my 10-team parlay because I have standards.
Panthers were 3.5-point favorites. Ouch.
Yeah. I expect nothing.
Didn't
I
cover.
expect nothing and still get hurt.
Broncos win 32-27. Okay, this next game. We have Seahawks-Jets. And the Jets are going to go 0-16. We all know this. Yep. But what a whooping by the Seahawks. A team that had just lost to the Giants. This
is part of my 10-team parlay.
Yes. And did you take Moneyline Seahawks or did you take them at a spread?
I took Moneyline Seahawks because I wanted to be certain.
Right.
They just lost to the Giants. They made me nervous.
I asked that because the spread was like 14.5 and they still covered.
It was 15, I think.
15. Well, it depends where you get it. Obviously, spreads move all the time. I have 14.5, but I'm sure it was 15 at one point because that's a monster spread that they still destroyed they killed them by 37 points. That's insane.
Yeah, they did. Man, the Jets are bad. And I'm looking at the stats here too. Like Darnold didn't look great. Running the ball, they didn't look great. Fucking no one caught the ball very well. There's nothing that stands out. Frank Gore fumbled the football. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Carson did really well for me in fantasy. 76 yards. He had a touchdown.
Russell Wilson had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
Seahawks win 40-3.
There's not much more I could say about that.
I don't even really want to talk about the Jets. They're just so bad. They're just so bad. I mean, congrats to the Seahawks. It's a great way to bounce back after losing to the Giants, but still, it's so bad.
But this next game, though, next game was very fun to watch.
This was actually the game I thought we bet on because I know I had the Raiders and you had the Colts. So in my head, this is the game we bet on. I still have no idea why I bet on the Vikings. No idea. But let's get into the Colts.
You're on that drink.
Yeah, I'm in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Let's get into the Colts and the Raiders. The Colts,
Jonathan
Jesus.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor breakout game. This is the second week in a row that they've featured him very heavily. I think he might be the guy now. I think they might finally be making the leap.
I don't know. Maybe.
20 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those was a massive breakaway.
Yeah. What was it?
He's
70-yard
230
touchdown?
pounds with he's like 230 pounds. He's got like 4.4 speed, 4.5 speed.
The Colts were 3-point favorites, easily cover. The Raiders didn't look that great. Josh Jacobs was back, but he didn't do that much. He also trolled everyone on Twitter.
Yeah, it was so great.
Hour before the game saying he wasn't going to play. And, of course, NFL reporters like Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter reported that. And it scared the shit out of me because I have him in a playoff league. And I was freaking out. And I literally picked up Peyton Barber.
Booker?
No, I picked up Barber. Booker wasn't available. So I picked up Barber because what's his name? Antonio Gibson was out. So I picked up Barber just immediately, just in case. I literally had that thread and I was just refreshing. Like tell me the real facts, Adam Schefty, okay? Ian Rappy, you guys.
Now, it's kind of funny that I thought it was very funny that is how that was handled. Because obviously they have to report that if he says that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily blame them, but like, how? What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to reach out to him and be like, "Hey, are you for real?"
I mean,
Right.
All they did was report the facts, and the facts were Josh Jacobs said on Instagram he's not
Yep.
playing, and that's exactly. I mean, that's what it was. Fuck Josh Jacobs for fucking everybody. But to be honest, man, he's a really good running back. Don't get me wrong, and he is good in fantasy. Like, I'm pretty sure he's ranked in the top 5 running backs, but he's not like. I don't know, man.
He's not killing it.
He's not killing it. Right. He got me 10 points because I did end up starting him, but it's not like he went off.
Gruden fired his defensive coordinator, I think, after this game.
Really?
I believe so. Yes.
Damn. I mean, Colts win 44-27. Raiders. I mean, I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but they needed to win this game for playoffs. This was good actually for the Ravens because AFC wildcards, there's 3 up for grabs, and the Raiders are in the hunt.
And the Raiders are in the hunt.
They are. True. Yeah, they are. So,
Washington football team. Oh, do you want to say the score of the final game or the other game?
Didn't I? Did I just do that? 44-27?
Perfect. Okay. So, Washington football team, they played San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, I thought, didn't look very good. But the football team also didn't look great, but their defense,
defense looked great.
Shit.
2 touchdowns scored by their defense, I think. Right?
And one of them was that
right.
and one of them was that Chase Young like fumble recovery for a touchdown. Like that was athletic as fuck.
49ers were 2.5-point favorites. They do not cover. Washington football team, I mean, Dwayne Haskins came back for that game.
I saw him.
What happened?
Strained a calf.
Fuck.
So they were like, we need somebody to go in there.
Damn.
Their QB situation is not good. They're gonna have to draft somebody.
Dwayne Haskins is not the guy. Alex Smith can't stay healthy. Who else is in there? Someone else is in there.
Isaiah Wright.
No.
This is what's on here.
No, because Alex Smith was the 3rd string. There was Dwayne Haskins, and then there was someone else. And
it's like Kyle Allen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
He was a backup for Carolina for a while, and I liked him as a backup. I didn't love him as like a starter, but he played with Rivera as his coach, so of course he came over to Washington.
I mean, Washington football team, are they first in the NFC East?
They're first in their division right now. They are right now, as of right now, they're playoff bound.
Look at that. Wow.
It's funny. Honestly, there's a blessing to playing in that division. Even though it's so bad, you can get a bad record and make the playoffs and still get an all right draft pick.
That is the best scenario, isn't it? That's like the dream scenario. Still make the
You're
playoffs.
Like, we've got a chance at the playoffs. Like we could win the Super Bowl and we'll get a great draft pick.
Oh my God. What was I going to say? Wait a minute. This is gonna be such a dumb.
No.
question.
I know exactly what you're gonna ask because I'm wondering it right now.
If you win the Super Bowl but you have a shitty record, doesn't that mean you still have the last pick?
I don't know how it works. I don't
think so. I'm pretty sure.
Because the Chiefs won it last year and they got the final pick in the draft. But like, what was their record? It had to have been at least worse than some teams, right?
Yeah, but the Ravens had the best record last year.
Maybe it's defined based on just wins, but that can't just be right though, because you might have a team that has the same record as a team that they just beat in the Super Bowl. Like if a team is like 14 and whatever, and the other team is 13 and whatever, and then they win the Super Bowl, they're both gonna have 14 wins.
I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure. If you win the Super Bowl, you get the last pick. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Because
we should look that up. I'm very curious now.
But I don't know how they sift through all the different, like if you lost in the same round of the playoffs but had the same regular season record, I don't know how they determine tiebreakers. But technically, let's say the football team makes the playoffs with a losing record, okay? And and in this hypothetical dreamland, they win the Super Bowl. They still get the last pick, even though they had the worst regular season record in the playoffs.
I also think, now I'm thinking about it, that's also probably fair, right?
That's fair, right? That's
That's
fair.
fair.
Okay, okay, Washington football team wins 23-15. They're
In
first.
an ugly game.
Ugly game, but they're first in their division. But there's a team, well, there are two teams that are right there. You got the Giants, they lost, but then you have the Eagles. This is the next game.
Yeah.
This is the next game. They played the Saints. Oh, wait,
sure
sorry,
did.
Andrew, sorry. Was the 49ers Washington game in your 10-team parlay?
They certainly were not.
The 49ers, I think I already said this, 2.5-point favorites. Did not cover. So let's get into the Eagles Saints. The Eagles. Jalen Hurts, his first career start in the NFL against Taysom Hill. His fourth career start in the NFL?
Yes.
Eagles with the upset. Holy shit.
Yeah, this was, I'll just come out and say it. This is part of my 10-team parlay. I thought I had an easy Saints money line bet here.
Well,
I think everyone thought they would have had a safe money line bet here. I think anyone who bet on the Eagles is mentally ill.
the Saints were 8-point favorites.
Yeah, they were minus 400 odds on the money line when I took this bet.
8-point favorites. Oh man! And this was the game, the one game that ruined your 10-team parlay.
At least so far.
Correct. But if you had gotten this right, then you could go into tonight knowing you had guaranteed money. Exactly. By hedging.
Exactly. Well, okay, let's talk about the stats, right? Jalen Hurts, 17 completions, 167 yards and a touchdown. That's not that impressive, but he did rush for 106 yards.
This is a classic. This is my first game in the NFL. Like, those stats scream, this is my first game in the NFL, and I got the W, and that's all that matters. You know, 100-something throwing yards, a touchdown, which is good. It's always good to get a passing touchdown as a quarterback. And just using your legs at all times, because you go through your first read. If it's not there, you take off.
Taysom's, okay, so his stats are 28 completions, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Those are not bad stats, but those are not indicative of how he played in the first half. He played very poorly in the first half. He had like 10 completions. He had, I think, maybe 100 yards. He had not thrown a touchdown at that point, and he still had the interception. He was looking like he was shook. He did come back, but it's the Eagles' defense, dude. Like, if he didn't come back, there would be serious concern, because there's talk that Drew Brees won't be back for Week 15 yet.
Well, I was just asking, what does this mean with Taysom Hill? I mean, this is his first loss as a starter. So, I mean, do you just give him the benefit of the doubt? Do you just say, hey,
I think you've got to.
Hey, what's up, Taysom? We'll just ignore this terrible, terrible loss to the Eagles.
I think you have to, because, I mean, what else are you going to do? It's not like you're going to, like I said, if Drew Brees is out next week, it's not like you're going to just swap Jameson, right, for one game.
Oh, no, yeah. Jameis is there just like, hey, guys, so
I can play football, too.
Yeah, you know Taysom lost that game, right? Just saying. I'm just saying, like, that was Taysom's fault.
I wore my glasses, and I saw it all.
It was Taysom's fault. Put me in.
But this is big implications, because the Saints are 10-3 now.
There.
I mean, like, they have a worse record than the Packers. The Packers are in seat for the bye now.
Yeah, they are.
And the Saints are going to need that with Drew Brees with his ouchie ribs. So
I don't know. See, it would be very interesting if Taysom won out all the games with Drew Brees out, because then if Drew came back, what they could really do is they could be like, Taysom's our guy, and no offense, Drew, but you're just going to stay hurt the rest of the season. Like, you aren't going to recover, right? And that solves everyone's problems, because you have Taysom Hill, who would be the quarterback, the starting quarterback, the future quarterback of the Saints, the future. Commodore Norrington. Commodore Taysom Hill, okay? But he lost to the Eagles.
I don't know. I think Drew Brees is still...
he lost to the Eagles.
I think Drew Brees still has it.
I don't know, dude. He just looks immobile. He looks like it hurts to throw every single time. Even before he got his ribs smashed, he always
Man.
looked like it hurt his whole body to throw a 15-yard completion.
Yeah, I mean, he's fragile,
He is. He's
but
an
he
old
can
man.
still sling it.
I don't know, but we'll
He's
see.
losing out on the record right now, too, because he can't play, and Tom Brady's out there still throwing touchdowns.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Eagles with the upset, 24-21. I don't know what the Saints do with their quarterback situation. Eagles, though, you stick with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they're going to probably stick with him the rest of the year.
You have to. You have to. Carson Wentz is done.
All right,
Finished.
Falcons, Chargers. This was part of my 10-team parlay. I had the Chargers money line. They made it close, though. They made it close.
I had the Chargers winning. You had the Falcons winning, and I won. I should have bet you on this game.
What are you talking about? This was part of my 10-team parlay. I refuse to believe that.
What are you talking about?
This is in my 10-team parlay.
So
So I bet on I put my money on the Chargers.
yeah, but I'm talking about last podcast episode.
That's fucking ancient history. People are allowed to change their minds.
Yeah. So you had the Falcons winning in our last podcast. And Benedict Arnold over here switching sides, but the Chargers
Eggs Benedict Arnold.
didn't look great.
Eggs Benedict are good.
They are really good. I love Eggs Benedict.
Okay, but anyway, let's talk
I didn't
about
need
football.
them. I didn't need them for the longest time because they had the word Benedict in them, and I'm no trader.
That's funny because you are a trader, so I don't know why you're deciding to lie now. Like that's kind of bizarre, but it's whatever.
I don't know why you just said that, but the Chargers win 20-17. I didn't watch this game, but I have Justin Herbert in
Chargers
fantasy.
tried their best to fucking lose it. Dude.
Yes, I mean, I saw the highlights. Jesus.
He threw a pick at the very end, but then Matt Ryan decided to throw his third pick at the end, and then the Chargers got down there, and Michael Bagel decided to kick it in.
Jesus. He got me -2 fantasy points last week, and I dropped him. I was like, see ya, bye. Don't want you. And he got me -2. He got me -2 points as a kicker, which means he missed 2 field goals,
You can't
and that's
have
it.
that.
No, of course
It's a
not.
liability.
A huge liability. So what did I do? I cut his ass. I picked up Graham Gano for the Giants, who's been he's been putting up some pretty good numbers this season, and he got me 1 point. So I don't know what's up with kickers and my fantasy team, but I can't pick a good kicker to save my life.
First, probably.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. And then I had Joey Sly, but Joey Sly was missing him too. Now they were 50-yarders, but a missed 50-yarder is the same as a missed 30-yarder.
That's funny. I don't like leagues like that. In our dynasty league, like 50-yarders, they don't lose you any points.
Yeah, I like
40-yarders, they lose you a point. 30-yarders, they lose you 2 points, and anything under 20, you lose like 4 points.
What about a missed extra point?
Those are always -2.
Gotcha. That's
Yep.
funny.
But you also get more points. Like if you get a 50-yard field goal, I think it's worth 3 points.
But see, in this league that I'm in, 50-yarders 5 points.
That's so many points. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's a thing, but
So
they have to do something to make up for it because they have to be worth that much. Because if you miss, you still apparently are losing points on your end, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they have to have that.
So Chargers win 20-17. The Atlanta Falcons were 1-point favorites.
Yeah.
Didn't cover. Didn't
Packers,
cover.
Lions.
Okay. Yeah. Packers win 31-24. The Packers look great.
This is also part of my 10-team parlay.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers looked good. He looked great, actually. He looked great. He slings the ball. I think their defense didn't look that great, but the Packers' offense was pretty great. How many times can I say they looked great?
Aaron Jones, 15 carries, 69 yards, which is nice. Vontae Adams, 115 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns, 290 yards, no interceptions. I mean, he's looking great. I mean, he is on pace for a possible MVP season. He'll probably get a vote or two.
Yep. But I mean, that's all I really have for this game.
Stafford looked okay.
Stafford looked all right. Packers looked good. Looked great. They looked great.
So yes,
the Packers looked great. They were 9-point favorites, so they didn't cover. But I mean, they looked great. That's all. That's put the headline. Packers looked great. They win 31-24. Do not cover the spread. That's it. That's all you have to talk about.
Steelers, Bills, and holy shit.
We knew this. By the way. We knew this was coming.
Yeah.
We knew the Bills were going to beat the Steelers. We said it in last podcast. We were both on the same page. The Steelers are the worst 11-2 team in history. They were the worst 11-1 team, and they were the worst 11-0 team.
The Bills are a good team. I don't want to oversell this to them. I'm not sitting here calling the Steelers frauds. I think the Steelers are a good football team. Their Steelers defense the first half, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
The Steelers are frauds. And for everyone, listen, here is the definition of fraud. I will remind everyone because I keep getting mentions. People keep tweeting me. People keep messaging me. Friends keep messaging me who listen to this podcast. The definition of a fraud is someone who pretends to be a Super Bowl contender. That's what that means. These guys are
contenders. I think you're wrong.
I'm just setting the record straight because I'll get like the Rams, the kings of fraudland, will win a game, and I'll get so they're frauds, huh? Because they just got to win. Yeah, obviously you have to win games to be frauds. That's the whole point. The Jets aren't frauds, even though they're the worst team in the NFL. You know, the Washington football team, not frauds. They're 6-7. Okay, the Seahawks, frauds. Okay. The Saints.
Okay, so how many teams here do you think are legit? The Saints might be frauds.
I know that. Eagles. I know. That's why I'm saying they have to win games. The Saints still have a 10-3 record.
But here's my question though: if you had to pick 3 teams that are for sure not frauds, who have a legitimate shot at the chip, who are you picking?
I would say the Chiefs. I would say the Packers, and I would say probably the Bills. I would say those 3 teams after last night, the Bills looked great. Okay. I would say those 3 teams. Now,
okay. No, I was curious.
Now, do you have the Seahawks in there? You have the Saints in there. If the Saints didn't lose to the Eagles yesterday, they would probably.
The Bears.
They'd probably no. But listen, when I say frauds, it's a good thing because you have to be a Super Bowl contender. Not any team can be a Super Bowl contender. In fact, very few teams can be Super Bowl contenders. However, when a Super Bowl contender is placed up and matched against a real Super Bowl contender, a fake Super Bowl contender placed against a real Super Bowl contender, that's when you know they're frauds, okay? Because the Steelers and the Bills, this could be the AFC championship, you know? Maybe.
I should say, this game was part of my 10-team parlay. I had the Bills.
Great. Yeah.
Yep.
The Bills were 2-point favorites, 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Even Vegas had the Bills. But listen, the Steelers are a good team. They're a great team. They have the best, well, not the best record anymore, but they have a great record. They're 11-2. Okay. They're not winning the Super Bowl, which is why I say they are frauds.
Yeah, now, with their ability to not run the football, they're not.
They can't catch either. They can't catch.
Dude, they keep Deontay Johnson dropped like 3 balls in the first quarter.
They can't catch the fucking ball, dude. That's kind of important.
And I don't know what they're gonna do about that. If they're gonna put glue on their hands, or I don't know what the.
I don't know, but look, the Steelers aren't winning the Super Bowl, so they're frauds. And for anyone who's being like, well, what are the Ravens? The Ravens aren't good enough to even be called frauds at this point.
Yeah, the Ravens are hoping and praying right now.
We're just trying to make the playoffs, okay? But I would assume a team that went 11-0 is looking at the Super Bowl, right? Obviously you made the playoffs. Congrats. What's next? The Super Bowl. You aren't winning the Super Bowl. That's why I'm calling you frauds. Get over it. Okay, or beat a team like the Bills and make me fucking second guess myself and look like an idiot.
Okay, so I think the Steelers are good. I think the Bills are better. I really do think the Bills have. I mean, the Bills are going to clinch that division for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah. No, I mean the Bills look great. Josh Allen looks great. Stephon Diggs, he's great.
Diggs tore them apart.
Jeez. By the way, do you remember in our Dynasty League earlier this season, I made a trade. Do you remember what that trade was?
You traded away something, but you got Stephon Diggs. Was it Leonard Fournette? Fuck, I don't remember who you traded.
No, I traded Todd
Who'd you trade
Gurley.
away?
Todd Gurley
Oh, that's right.
for Stephon Diggs, and at the time, everyone was said that's a good trade. Hey, that's a fair trade for everyone involved. And I said, I don't know, man. I think I really got a great deal. And you said, depends on how you look at it. We all know what Todd Gurley is looking like right now. Okay.
Yeah.
We all know what Stephon Diggs is looking like right now. In a dynasty league where you keep your players year after year, I think I think that was a great trade by me. I want to toot my own horn.
It's a much better long-term trade because wide receivers just in general last longer than running backs.
Exactly.
But the problem is, a wide receiver on a new team with a new quarterback that they haven't played with, like sometimes that takes a while to load up. Running backs are pretty plug and play in their new system, and if they're the starter and you're going to get a bunch of carries, they're usually pretty sustainable. So it's like it makes you just wonder about the short term because if Gurley came out and was like popping off, right? I mean,
popping left and right.
Right. Which he didn't, but
but I just want to toot my own horn because I think I orchestrated a very good trade.
Yeah, best trade I made this season was I ended up trading James Conner and Julio Jones for Saquon Barkley, which sounds kind of shitty for that, but because it sounds like I gave up a lot. But Julio hasn't played. He's only played one game since that trade has happened, and it looks like he might not play again next week. And Connor played finally for the first time since that trade happened this week, and he looked like shit.
He did look like shit.
And I didn't want to have to work. And I wasn't going to be able to play either of those guys anyway. So shipping them, getting Barkley. Now I just have to sit until next year until I can play Barkley.
Well, yeah. Again, we don't know what that trade's going to look like for you until Barkley plays again.
Right, but he'll be back next year. But it's just a matter of
will he be the same?
Looks like.
Will he be the same, or will he be like Zeke?
God, I hope not.
That's week 14.
Do you want to preview? Yeah, that is week 14.
That's it. That was the Sunday night game.
We got to preview the Ravens Browns.
Yes, of course I want to talk about the Ravens Browns. Monday Night Football. It's tonight.
I'm very excited for this. I'm so excited for this.
We have a shotgun bet. I have
to go out and get beer.
We made it last podcast. Yeah, the only thing in my fridge is hard seltzer, and I don't want that. I don't want to shotgun that.
I have a tall boy, but I'm not going to shotgun.
Yeah, you should.
On Monday
okay,
morning.
wait. I'll shotgun a hard seltzer if you shotgun a tall boy.
No, that sounds stupid.
Oh my god! But this game is obviously super important for the Ravens. We need to win out. I really want us to win out. I really don't want to shotgun tomorrow morning, so that's another incentive for the Ravens to win tonight.
I'm sure they care about that.
However, there is a silver lining if the Browns play well. I'm not going to say win, but the Browns playing well is I have Jarvis Landry, and he's my last player to go, and I need him. If he scores 14 points, I advance in the Shotgun League playoffs. If he doesn't, I'm out. I'm done.
You're out.
So we'll see.
And this game's in my 10-team parlay. I mean, if the Ravens win, I'll have gone 8 for 10, and I can at least go, okay, I wasn't going to hit it anyway. But if the Browns win, I'll be real sad.
Yeah, because, another 10-team parlay that lost one game.
Yep, that'll be my third one that is lost by one game.
Jesus Christ, and you have no money to show for it.
Technically, it would be my fourth, but the first one doesn't really count because
you never placed the fucking bet.
Right, so it's like, I have record of making those picks, but I don't have record of actually placing the bet. So,
oh my God.
But that's pretty good. 14 weeks, four of them are 9 out of 10, and I think 2 of them have been 8 out of 10.
Very good, Andrew. No, that's very good. The Browns, the Ravens. The Ravens are 2.5.
Do you have the spread? Okay, I was going to say, do you have the spread in front of you?
I do. 2.5 point favorites. Go to the Ravens.
I would end up.
We need this.
I would definitely take the Browns to cover.
Yeah, I'm sure you would because you picked the fucking Browns to win. So,
let's go.
Oh my God. I guess let's predict scores before we end.
It's your team, so I'll let you go first.
Ravens 20 9. Browns,
Okay.
21.
Okay.
29. How the fuck do you get 29? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I've got. I have Browns 35. Ravens 30.
Wow. A high scoring affair, huh?
High scoring affair. I just think about.
I don't know about that.
I just think about last week and how they played the Titans. They're going to be so fired up to play this game, and it's at home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go Browns. Go Browns, go. Fucking
question. If the Browns, I mean, I know you're going to say, but if the Browns win this game and they're 10-3, are the Browns frauds?
No. You
think they're a contender?
I don't know, because here's the thing. The path to the Super Bowl goes through Kansas City, and I honestly don't know any team in the AFC that could really give the Chiefs a challenge, except for maybe the Raiders. And I don't know
the Raiders.
I don't know how
the
likely
Broncos.
it is. Maybe the Broncos, but both of these teams probably might not make the playoffs. Probably won't make the playoffs.
Won't.
So
honestly, it's really funny because that's just divisionally, like the Broncos in their division, the Raiders in their division, the Chargers in their division, like week 3.
The two teams,
they all kind of gave them some runs.
The two teams that I could see beating the Chiefs on the road to the Super Bowl are the Bills, and I know the Bills lost to the Chiefs already this season, and the Ravens. And I know the Ravens have already lost to the Chiefs this season. I say that because they both played them this season. So it's very hard to beat a team twice in the same season. The Ravens have lost to the Chiefs 3 years
times,
straight.
right?
3 years straight. So hopefully we know the ins and outs by now. But I don't know. Those are the only two teams that I could see.
I mean, the Chiefs could end up getting a bye week still.
Yeah, I know.
In week 1 of the play. I mean, the Steelers just have to not blow. If the Steelers went out, they will get the bye week for sure. But
no, because the Chiefs have one loss.
I'm pretty sure that I think the Chiefs have a good shot at losing a game this year still.
Against who?
I don't know what their schedule looks like. I'm just thinking only losing one game is crazy. And they've had so many, they have won so many games by one score. I don't know. I just think that
here are the last 3 games of their season. And the first one is the make or break. This first game is the make or break, because if they beat the Saints, that's it.
Okay, that's what it is.
They have the Saints left, and they play them next week. Okay.
Yep.
But then you have the Falcons and the Chargers. I don't see the Chiefs losing to either of those teams.
I don't see them losing to the Chargers either. However, the Chargers, it's divisional. Where's that game at?
In LA.
Okay, so they have to travel. It's divisional, and they gave them a run for their money in week 3 or 4, whatever it was. And the Chargers won't be playing.
It's in Kansas
City.
But
But still, the Chargers aren't going to be playing for anything. They're not going to be playing for a win or for a playoff spot or anything. They're just playing spoiler to their division. So, I mean, they'll be like, how we're keeping you from a bye. I'm not saying that they're going to win it, but I don't think that's a gimme. I definitely think that the other game's a gimme, but the Saints game is going to be tough, probably.
The Saints, I think, is the make or break. The Saints is going to be, if they beat the Saints, I think they go 15-1.
Because you also have to think okay, they'll go 15-1, but everyone also thinks they're Super Bowl favorites. You really think they're going to go from this point forward, not losing a single game the rest of the season?
Yeah, of course. They're the Chiefs. I absolutely think that.
That's so hard.
I know it's hard, but I think the Chiefs are the best team
No, I don't
in the
think
NFL.
you understand how hard that is, Ian.
Oh, okay. Well, watch it happen. I mean, they're not losing to the Falcons or the Chargers. They
won't lose to the Falcons.
I'll shotgun bet you on the Chargers. 100%.
I will wait until that week comes up, but I'll clip that.
I will. I'll clip.
Watch
it
Patrick Mahomes go down against the Falcons, and I'm like, hey, remember when you said,
"Whoosh,
whoosh."
All right, Andrew.
That was a fucking game, dude.
Oh my God. Let's fucking go. I am not going to lie to you, Andrew. I'm not going to lie. I watched this whole thing in my bedroom because that's where I watched the Cowboys-Ravens game last week, and we dominated. And me being a superstitious person, I watched the game tonight in my bedroom. The only 2 games I've watched all season in my bedroom instead of the living room, and we win. And
so now you have to watch every game for the rest of the season.
Yes. That's pretty much what that means. And so I was pacing around my fucking bedroom like a goddamn lunatic because that whole game was a roller coaster of fucking emotions. Holy
Lamar
shit.
faked those cramps, just so we're clear.
He had
He
diarrhea.
feeds off the drama.
He had diarrhea. We all know what he had. He had diarrhea. He had the runs, which, as someone who, I mean, when you're that good of a quarterback, when you're that good of a running quarterback, you get the runs. When you run that much, you get the runs.
Dude, this game was everything I expected it to be. Like, solid ground game from both teams. Like, by the way,
oh my God,
the fact that for so long the Ravens let Mark Ingram be the lead back instead of like Dobbins or even Gus Edwards is astonishing to me after like seeing what I've seen the last like 3 weeks.
Yes, I mean you have to remember that J.K. Dobbins is a rookie, so it's
sure,
not like
but
he's
so
been in
is
the
so
league.
is Clyde and Taylor though. You know what I mean? Like these, I mean you got to be able to be like,
yeah, but they don't have. I mean, Mark Ingram. You're acting like Mark Ingram is like a scrub, and he's not a scrub.
How has Mark Ingram done the last like 4 weeks?
He hasn't
5
played.
weeks even.
He hasn't played.
There you go.
Well, no, you can't. Well, what do you mean? He was on the COVID list and he didn't play. So you can't.
Yeah,
say,
look how they're doing though. I'm saying look how they're doing. Even when he played this season.
Look,
though,
I don't.
just,
Andrew, I don't care. I don't like. You can pout about J.K. Dobbins not getting enough not getting enough playing time or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, Mark Ingram was a very important person in our offense up until this year when we drafted J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is a rookie, and he ran under Mark Ingram because he's a Heisman.
Rookies are bad. You're right.
He's a Heisman winning.
Just say what you want to say. And rookies are bad.
No, rookies aren't bad, but you're acting like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like the next greatest thing.
No, I'm just saying that they saw the rookies and they're like, we're gonna a lot of rookies do really well when you give them the opportunity.
If the Chiefs had a Mark Ingram, they absolutely would put Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
They wouldn't. If the Chiefs had a Mark Ingram, they wouldn't have drafted a running back in the first round. Sure. I know the Ravens didn't do that. I'm just saying.
No, they didn't.
I know that the Chiefs wouldn't have done that.
So, whatever.
This game, but the game was electric. Although, do you think Trace McSorley faked that injury?
No, I don't. I don't know what was going on with the ground. First off, what is your conspiracy theory, Andrew? Like you're like, oh, Lamar Ingram faked the cramps or the runs, and he likes the attention.
The Lamar thing was a joke, but the Trace McSorley thing, I really was curious because that's a lot of pressure on a dude who hasn't really played a lot, and he slipped, which is embarrassing. It sucks, and it's a very very high pressure game. It did look like his knee, like I don't know. I didn't think it looked bad, but I'm also not him. I can't obviously tell what happened.
Well, if it didn't look bad, then he must be faking. I don't think he faked it. I think that the ground was slippery. You saw people slipping all over the field.
Sure, I think he slipped. I think he was embarrassed. I don't think he was hurt.
You think he was embarrassed, and that's why he limped off the field? He's
going to be full recovery. He's not going to have a single sprain or anything like that. He's not going to be on an injury report. I guarantee you that.
Oh, so anybody who leaves the side,
oh my
goes
God,
into the
you're
sideline.
A bitch. Just
no, I'm not a
me.
bitch. I'm just defending players on my team. Sorry that I'm a normal fan, so I'm going to defend my backup quarterback who stepped in.
Your third string quarterback?
No, he's our second string now. But
is he though? Or because did they sit?
I don't care. Why are we talking about Trace McSorley? Why aren't we talking about all of the other awesome things that happened in the game, or even the bad things? I don't give a shit about Trace McSorley, whether or not.
Hey, that's your second string quarterback you're talking about there. Don't you dare say you don't give a shit about him.
Look, you're all pissed. Why don't we get to the real truth, Andrew? Why don't we get to the real truth? You have to shotgun a beer tomorrow morning, and you're a little pissed off that you have to do that. And you
no. I had the Ravens.
You came so close. I know how you think. I bet you were fucking all amped when the Browns went up 35-34, and you were like, "Oh, dude, this is fucking awesome."
I seriously
and Trace McSorley's
believe.
in the game. Oh, it's over. I know how your mind works, and you had already locked this game,
dude.
And you already mentally prepared not to shotgun tomorrow. Lamar comes in, throws a touchdown. Then the Browns score like in a flash, which great for them.
47 seconds.
They gave the ball back to us with a minute left, and we have the best kicker in the NFL who nailed a 55-yarder.
Would it have been better for him, instead of Kareem Hunt scoring there, would it have been better if he just ran out on the one? That way they could have held out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, that in the grand scheme of things, with hindsight 2020, yes, that would have been a better play.
I was actually so confident. Like, so when McSorley was in there at the very beginning, and it was 3rd and 10, and I do not know how the fuck it wasn't even a good pass to Snead. Like, Snead saved the fuck out of him. He went up and got it, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Absolutely, that destroyed me. At that moment is when I was like, I'm gonna have to shotgun a beer tomorrow.
Oh, really? Because then we didn't get okay. What really worried me, and it was the first drive with McSorley in the game, was when he threw a great ball to Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And he just fucking dropped it. And I was like, yep, this is it.
Dude,
the game's over. Like, we can't even fucking catch the ball from our backup quarterback when it's thrown properly to us. We're fucking done. And then 4th and 5. It was 4th and 5 on the infamous play that you're saying that he, faked or whatever. Yeah. Whatever you want to, get under my skin, because
I'm sticking by it.
That's literally the only way you can get under my skin is by saying one of our players faked an injury for some reason, which is not going to get that much under my skin. If we had lost, I'd be yelling at you and throwing my laptop across the ground and kicking and screaming. But since we won, and since you have to be the person to shotgun a beer at 8 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, I'll take. You know what? Fine. Well, Trace McSorley faked an injury. I don't fucking care.
Do you know how you know how confident that I wasn't gonna have to shotgun a beer?
I bet you were super fucking confident.
Dude, no, I mean, I didn't go buy beer. Like, after this podcast, I have to go buy beer.
or there's another option, Andrew.
Oh, you want double or nothing something?
No, you have a tall boy.
Well, no, I don't actually. I thought I did. I have no beer in the house. I thought I had one tall boy left.
Oh man. Well,
no.
Well, you can go to a gas station and get a single tall boy.
What's wrong with you?
Now,
okay, so this has other implications, though. I mean, we obviously, so the Ravens win this game in awesome fashion, 47-42. The second, even though they were showing Justin Tucker's make line, he could have made a 60-yarder. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, he's the best kicker in the NFL. He's the best kicker in the NFL.
And I think I can't believe Cody Parkey fucking missed that field goal.
I mean, it
earlier.
turned out not to bite them in the ass, because the Browns blocked a field goal by Justin Tucker, and weirdly, I mean, it worked out for them. The Browns went for 2 when they were down 14. Yeah. Super weird. But look, whatever.
They were aggressive all night. I have to give credit to Stefanski. I liked their play calling most of the night.
They went on 4th down a lot. They converted on 4th down a lot. They obviously converted on their 2-point conversion miraculously after it hit off the hands of Hunt and went into Peoples-Jones's hand like fucking like a cartoon. But
Baker balled out.
Lamar balled out. You can say in the passing game, but in the run game, dude.
He was electric on the ground.
Oh, he was great. He was MVP Lamar. That's what Lamar looked like last year.
The crazy thing is he only completed 11 passes, which is fine, but he only completed 11 passes. I thought that I came and saw that and I was actually shocked. But then I remember he didn't really play at all the third quarter, did he?
No, he just fucking left. He just fucking left because of his quote unquote cramps. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Roller coaster, dude. This entire game was a roller coaster.
Before halftime, I think it was, right? Oh, gosh, I don't even remember the timeline of events here. But when Lamar rolled right and he hit your number 1 receiver, Mark Andrews, down the side, I was so upset because I was like, he's the guy.
Well, how did you feel? I do have to know. How did you feel on 4th and 5 after Trace McSorley?
Oh my God.
Faked his injury.
So stupid.
And you're like, well, first off, they didn't show Lamar coming out. They just showed Trace first, and they showed him on the ground. And you're like, oh my God, that's our
quarterback.
Exactly. I literally in my head I was like, you have to put Dobbins in shotgun or something. What do you do?
Wildcat the rest of the fucking game.
Yeah, Wildcat. I mean,
I'm actually curious who would play. If I'm looking at this, if I had to guess, Marquise Brown's your QB.
I don't know. I honestly
I have literally no idea.
no idea.
But anyway, congrats. You are the
No,
winner.
wait. But I need to know.
Oh,
I need to know. How did you feel when Lamar Jackson comes sprinting? This is the 2-minute warning, by the way, because Lamar Jackson comes sprinting out of the locker room, 4th and 5, and I just want a first down, right? Because in my head, we just need to kick a field goal, right?
The angle that he was at so on that play, because you're going to ask me about him throwing to Marquise Brown, right?
Yes.
Okay, so so Marquise Brown was wide open there. I mean, he found the soft spot. Lamar hit him in on the run, but the way that they were angled, if Lamar didn't see that, Lamar was going to rush for that first down.
Yes, I thought he was. I
thought he was too. I'm very good on him to look up, but I'm curious if that was a drawn up play or what, because they stacked bunches on that side with Andrews and Brown, Andrews ran underneath and Brown just nudged off and then went deep. And no one followed him. I mean, what's his name? One of the Browns fucking safeties saw it and tried to adjust, but he's not faster adjusting than fucking Marquise Brown is just sprinting.
Right.
So that was unfortunate. I almost thought he overthrew it, but
I did too. Could you imagine him obviously having enough
as Superman?
Yeah, and him having enough room clearly in front of him to get the first down, throws it before the line of scrimmage, and then just completely misses a wide open Marquise Brown. That would have been the saddest
I'm
thing.
cramping.
And then Trace McSorley says, "I feel better now."
Yeah, it's that's so weird. Okay, so now Baltimore's 8-5, which is good. Baltimore needed this win. They
11-5.
have to win out.
We're 11-5.
We're
11-5. Come on.
Cleveland is now 9-4, but the Steelers are 11-2, right?
Yes.
So this division's still open.
Yes.
I would like to get are the Ravens now frauds?
Are the Ravens now frauds? That's tough, man, because it really is. Do I think the Browns are a really good team?
That's what I want to know. That's the next question.
And they fucking killed the Titans. And honestly, they looked really good tonight. Both Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb are so good. And Baker is good. He knows when to. He's a smart player. There was one play where he tried to get us on multiple guys on the field, too many men on the field. That was
they talked
great
about
awareness.
this.
That's great awareness. He's a smart quarterback. So yes,
they talked about that specifically.
I think the Browns are legit. To answer your question,
right.
I think the Ravens are frauds, and I think the Browns are legit. That being said, when I'm calling the Ravens frauds, I'm saying they're Super Bowl contenders because the Browns are Super Bowl contenders. They both could win. I could both see them going far in the playoffs, right?
It's really funny, though.
If they play to their strengths, then they could go far. The problem is the path to the Super Bowl is through the Chiefs, and I just see the Chiefs.
Gonna say that.
I see the Chiefs killing both of these teams. I see the Chiefs killing the Browns, and I see the Chiefs killing the Ravens. I think the Ravens and the Browns could beat any other team. I think they could beat the Steelers, divisional. I think they could beat the Bills. I think they could beat the Dolphins. They could beat any other AFC team except for the Chiefs. And that's unfortunate.
It's really funny because I wonder, do you think Patrick Mahomes just sits at home watching these games just going these guys are fucking idiots?
He just fucking squirting ketchup. And
he's they have
sandwiches.
No idea. He's drop a play, Reed.
I just,
oh my God.
Who's going to beat the Chiefs? For real. Who's going to beat the Chiefs? I don't know. It's not going to be the Steelers. It's not going to be the Steelers. I'll tell you.
No, it won't be the Steelers. If anyone's going to beat the... Oh, God. Also, we're even forgetting the Bucks exist. I know we're talking about AFC, but I'm just I'm thinking about other playoff teams. Packers? Packers maybe beat the Chiefs?
Maybe. But, I mean, maybe.
Do you know Aaron Rodgers has 41 touchdowns this year?
That's a lot, yeah.
There's 3 games left.
But
if he throws 3 more in every game, he'll hit 50.
Yeah.
That's possible for him.
It's possible he can get MVP. Mahomes isn't a lock yet.
No, but Mahomes has less touchdowns and a few more interceptions, but he has 600 or 700 more passing yards. So it's still anyone's.
It's not a guaranteed lock, though. That's all I'm saying for Mahomes as MVP yet. I did shotgun tonight. You didn't bring it up.
What was that about?
I was waiting. So in my shotgun fantasy league, we decided as a collective unit for the first time this year. Usually shotguns are done in the regular season, and we don't do any shotguns in the postseason. However, yours truly drafted a bill and sent it to the league for consideration, and it was passed unanimously. The bill says that anyone in the loser's bracket has to shotgun a beer at any time. It doesn't have to be a morning shotgun. Morning shotguns are out the window in the postseason. But if you're in the loser's bracket and you didn't make the playoffs, you have to shotgun once, just because you didn't make the playoffs. Anybody in the playoffs who then gets knocked out of the playoffs and joins the loser's bracket has to shotgun as well, since they lost. Again, doesn't have to be a morning shotgun. So sure. Basically, everybody shotguns, everyone shotguns once in the postseason, except for the person who wins the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
It's like a closing ceremony. It's like a closing
ceremony. How do you know?
Closing ceremony.
How do you know if you're going to win the whole thing?
What do you mean? What?
So you did yours already, right?
Well, yeah, because I just got knocked out. Jarvis Landry.
I see what you're saying. So you lost and decided to do it. So, because I was going to say, like, if you could do it any time you want, like, if you did it on a night you won, you're like, okay, it's over with now, but then you end up winning the fucking whole thing.
Yeah, no, you don't shotgun until you actually lose. But Jarvis Landry needed to get me 14 points, and he was close. I think he got like 10 or 11. I was 3 points shy, whatever. Honestly, at that point, I knew that going to overtime gave me a great advantage to win, right? Because 3 points, I just needed 3 points, right? And if we go to overtime, there's a good chance that they sling a couple, 2 slant plays to Jarvis like they have in, this game. I didn't care. I was like, I just want to win. I don't want to go to overtime. I want to win. I want to make this field goal. I'll shotgun right here, right now. If Justin Tucker makes this kick, I made a promise to myself. And then when he made it and I lost in the fantasy playoffs, I went straight to the fridge, got my camera, and filmed myself shotgunning on my
Very
on
noble,
my patio.
Very noble.
Yep.
All right. Well, Ravens win 8-5, 47-42.
The biggest
Ravens
thing
cover.
Yes, that's something. I mean, we're a fucking sports betting podcast, and the Ravens were -3 for some. I think when we covered it this morning, they were -2.5. But a lot of people got them at -3, which
did they even got a safety?
Which would have been a push, yes. Which would have been a push. However, on the last play of the game, which took like 30 seconds for them to just, lateral it back and forth on inside their 20, they finally got a safety. The Ravens got a safety, and actually then covered that -3 spread.
How mad would you have been if they would have scored on that play, though?
The Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been absolute. I wouldn't be recording.
Like, is that worse than like if like you just like you knew you lost like say the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's the worst way to lose of all time.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know about all time, but like
of all time. That would be
the worst. The worst way to lose is because there's like a bomb or something.
Nope. Nope. No. I'm telling you right now, if the Browns were to score with 2 seconds left on a bullshit lateral play, that would be the worst way to lose of all time.
Oh man. Okay, I gotta go.
Even more than the Alabama-Auburn. Like
that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I saw that live. I was like,
same.
This is insane.
I saw it live too. What do they call that? What's the nickname for that play?
The kick six.
The kick six.
Yeah, the kick six in the Iron Bowl.
Yep, that was insane. Yeah, that actually might take the cake of the worst way to lose.
Because like they didn't have to kick that. There was such a long field goal. Like they could have just taken it to overtime, and they were a good enough team that they could have won. I know they were like fuck it, we'll see what happens, but that's what happens.
Oh man, okay man, go get some beer. I'll expect a video.
I gotta go get some beer.
Expect a video from you early in the morning so I can post to our Instagram.
God, it's snowing outside.
Don't drink and drive.
Nah, I won't. Goodbye.
Bye.
Normally, you can only get this technique in one of my classes, but I wanted to share this with you because I believe every man should get grapefruited. When you grapefruit your man, it's going to feel as if you are giving him head and fucking him at the same time.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling.
Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners. Drug dealers anonymous. Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners. Drug dealers anonymous. How many Madonnas can that Mazda fit? My brick talk is more than obvious. It's ominous. Garage is the phantom. Ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. Blonde mohawk the collection. I'm Dennis Rodman.
No better feeling would he ever get than being grapefruited. No better feeling would he ever get than
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling.
Time to hit the showers because baths are for babies.